we're here, and today we're going to be splitting some hostas. So Nelly's going to help me, and she's going to take them and plant them in the hillside garden. And we need to get some of these split and back buried because, as you can see here, you don't want these roots, and that's a hosta root. You don't want them like that because once it gets too hot, they dry out like this one has, and the plant starts to die. So we're gonna have to split this. We like to do about an 8-inch diameter, so anything else, so this will be taken off. We'll have a nice little circle, and then we're gonna bury it probably 3-4 inches. Even though it's got stalks, it'll still come through, and we'll give this plant some hope because he's staying where he is. The soil around is sinking, and maybe he's raising when it freezes, but this isn't a good situation. So anyway, we've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hostas. All these hostas that you see in these beds are going to have to be split, and it saves us because, you know, planting a hillside garden like that would cost thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars when we can split. Unfortunately, these plants won't be as big and great as they should be this year, but eventually we will stop creating new gardens.
No, we won't.
We will stop. We'll put an end to it. We will cease.
Buy more land.
We will cease and desist.
No.
And then we can let these grow to their full potential. So anyway, splitting we go. I'm just gonna do a quick clip and show you what we have before. We're gonna split it, say something like this, all the way around, and just have an 8-inch diameter in the center and cut off all these outside ones and then bury it. So that's what we started with. I'll show you in a second what we have when we've completed.
So Russ is gonna dig up this hosta and we'll show you how it gets split.
And we do this every year, by the way. This isn't the first time we've done this. Yeah, you lose some. It's not perfect, but and I think maybe just a little bit here. A little bit here. Okay. Babies, more babies, babies. Man, oh, not a man down. Look, they still grow like that, believe it or not. But this, no good, garbage. Okay, so put them back in. Okay, so that's what we have. It's about an 8-inch diameter here. And we've got a few that maybe if they got a little root at the side, they may grow. Like that will grow. So actually I'm gonna give that to Nelly. And we're gonna fill it in. And we're gonna get some actual proper triple mix and put it on top, but I'm just gonna show you what it's gonna look like when it's done. That's what it's gonna look like when it's done. We buried it again, and we've given the roots a better chance to live, and it's gonna be a big, you'll be surprised, this is probably gonna be a plant still this big in the spring. Okay, so we split that. You've seen me cover that. That's pretty much a plant there. I'm gonna keep individual plants in a separate bucket so Nelly can decide which colors go where, which plants go where. But so that's fine. That's gonna grow. These are all fine there. But when you get to something like this, we can split them. And I would say we could probably split this into I'm gonna just do 2, and we're gonna split it right down the center with a knife, like that. Done. Nelly's got 2 healthy plants. Throw it in the bucket. This one, same thing. What we did before, we've actually done it where we've actually gone, this would be about 8 plants. But I think this time, I'm gonna maybe try and get, so this one, we got a knife, that's what you're gonna get. This is perfectly good, and it's gonna grow into a big, massive plant. 1, 2, we're gonna get 3 out of this one here. And don't be concerned, you may lose one, you know, it's not a big deal. And that's, if it's something like that, even if it has one little tiny root, it will grow. So save it. That's it. Okay, so back to this one that actually needs quite a bit of attention. This is a before shot, and I'm gonna show you middle and then after in a second. Okay, so I split, we've got massive chunks off it. This is what we've got left. It was still too high, so Nelly suggested we bury it a little, so we've done that. And this is our little 8-inch cluster, and we're gonna fill it in. And now we're complete, and you're just looking at a pile of dirt. There's nothing to see because it's probably, actually I'll try and show you where it is. So there it is right there. So we're probably looking at down about 4 inches. We're just covered over nicely. And I would say in probably 3 weeks, this will start poking right back out again. And it'll be saved because the roots were way too surface roots. So you can see this is the section we're gonna keep right here. This is off, so it's like a nice circle there. And then all this is gonna be split. And that's kind of what we're left with right there. And the big pile, that's what we got off that one. And a nice round circle here, about 8 inches, and we've taken off that, and it's right there, probably 5, 6 plants. And there's the row that we've kind of done, and we're gonna fill back in some nice nutritious soil in between them. So they do look like this when you start, all nicely growing up, and then when we're finished, they're unfortunately buried again. But they're gonna now have nice soil, their roots are gonna be buried, and believe me, they're gonna be really healthy. Okay, so now I'm done this. I'll back this up. This bed has been completely split, covered up, protected. It still needs to bring some triple mix in and fill it up, but it is now ready. We were able to split off about 6 plants per main plant, per mother plant, giving us a total of about 270 hostas that Nelly will be planting. She's planting right now on the hillside garden. We still need a lot more, and that's why we're gonna head over here and we're gonna do some splitting on these ones. And they're of course right around the rose bed. Yeah, my hands are filthy, it's dirty work. And we're gonna be giving her some more. So we need a ton of them. We have 180 hostas from last year that we split. We put in buckets and we didn't even have time to put them out. So we do have them probably going in the enchanted garden, but we will see. So for the top of the bed in the raised garden there, the hill type top garden, this is where we will be getting our hostas from. And you can see there's a big row here. We planted these probably, I'm gonna say 3 years ago, and there were just 2. Each section had 2 little plants, 2 little leaves. So you can see over there's some grass in here. Over the past 3 years, they've grown. It's now a wall of them. So we're able to split these, and this will be a nice cap at the very top of the garden. And we'll split them and then let them grow back thick again. This actually, it's funny. I'm gonna step back. So this row of hostas here, this was the edge of the garden. There was, on the other side, there was woods. And then we decided to cut the grass on the other side to make it easier to weed the hostas. And then a bed came, and then all the trees came down, the bush came out, and the garden just protrudes right into the woods. So, okay, so these beds are done. They're supposed to be 2 hands, kind of like this, on each side, holding up the world, which is up here. Kind of hard to see right now, but it's there. And I just completed splitting these hostas. You can't see them anymore because I dug them actually fully out. There were mounds sticking up, dug them right out, split them up, and then buried them so they're not sticking out. And I'll take you over here what I've done, because we don't have a spot to put them yet. We still need to move a lot of dirt. This is canna crossing. So you can see these would be 6-foot high cannas all around, hydrangea, white hydrangea in the center, and it's kind of 4 corners, so we call it canna crossing. And I planted the hostas in the canna crossing. So this is a temporary thing right now while the hostas are in the greenhouse growing. This is a spot that these split hostas can sit and start to grow roots. And we've got about a month and a half. They'll be able to sit here as the cannas grow in the greenhouse. And then we should have beds then ready for them to go. This is another red canna bed here. And next, what I'll have to start doing is, this is the rose garden in the center, and this is a garden that encompasses the entire rose garden. And you can see we've got hostas, lilies, hostas, and these hostas really need attention. You see the way it's mounded up? And we'll zoom down in on this, and on all these roots. This is not good. The sun gets to this, these roots dry out. You can see there's lots of hosta growing in here, but certainly needs to be split, dug up, and then buried so that it's nice and level. And we'll probably put maybe 4 inches of dirt over top of it and let these roots actually start growing. So that's what we're doing right now. Nellie's up on way in there working on the hill, which we just finally planted 2 years, a year and a half or whatever. The hill garden is now planted with hostas, but we still need more to split, because these will all go in our enchanted garden. And of course, around all these trees, these are beautiful hostas around here. These need to be buried a little and split. So we're going to get to that on another day. Okay, so I've split them, I've left them in. So you've got the original 8-inch circle, and then you've got the sections that I'm going to split off. Had to do a voice overlay, the wind was insane. Okay, so now I've split them. So everything is out of the bed. The 8-inch circle is out of the bed, the main plant, and the sections I'm going to split. So they're all out of the bed on each side. There's nothing in the actual bed at this time. Now what I've done is I've dug a hole probably about 12 inches deep, and this is where the original plant will go back in, because remember, it was too high, so we need to bury it probably 4 inches below the dirt. So I had to dig a probably 12-inch hole and sink the plants in there. So now what I've done is I've buried the plants, the mother plants. All that's left on the sides are what I've split. And only half are there, most have been planted. But you can see it's nice and level, the main plants are gone, and I've ended right here. There's still a ton to do, as you can see. This path goes all the way around, but I did get it done today. You'll see in this video that I did actually finally complete all that and plant them. Okay, I'm hoping the wind has died down enough. I don't even know where my mic is on my phone, but I'll try and cover it. So it's complete. I'll just back up. This is the rose garden right here. And it's only entrance. Okay, let's back up here. Okay, so the only entrance to get to the rose garden is through right here. This is hostas, and you got this little path you got to go around, then you can enter the rose garden at the back. So this is hostas and lilies. This bed, you can see I've dug everything up, all the hostas up, I've split them, and then I buried them. So they're deep, and the roots will be fine. And weeded at the same time. So this is a shallow area, so I couldn't get them too deep because there's actually just bedrock underneath. And which takes us to my trusty shovel and the very end. Now I'm going to take you over here to Canna Crossing. Sorry, I'm out of breath. This is another row of red cannas that go here. And it kind of makes, when you're looking from the road, it kind of makes a nice backsplash to the rose garden. Okay, so we're at Canna Crossings here, And it's no longer canna crossings because I've planted the whole thing with hostas. And it's only temporary, probably a month and a half. The canners are growing in the greenhouse. And so these are all hostas. You can even see some of them I planted a few days ago have already started sprouting. So this will kind of be like our little shopping mall. If we need a canna, we come to our beds. These all have been planted. There's hundreds and hundreds in here. And they are probably going to be back over in this garden right up on the hill.